So, we are continuing our discussions in regards to the Detroit Red Wings and their decor. Because yes, the last video on this channel, and the video yesterday, spoke about the idea of the Red Wings acquiring one of the top right-handed D-men on the market. Well, in this video, we are diving into one of the top left-handed D-men on the market, a guy who ended up re-signing with his Buffalo Sabres team. Of course, you can probably read, or if you saw the title or the thumbnail, you know who exactly it is we're talking about here. We're going over Bowen Byram in Buffalo. And I know the main instinctual reaction that some of y'all might have towards this trade idea is, wait a minute, Lego, didn't he just sign? Why would he get traded? That is absolutely true. Bowen Byram signed a 2-year, $6.25 million AAV deal with Buffalo just the other day. But here's the thing. The contract that he had signed ends up taking him straight to unrestricted free agency status. And the guy is still in a position, at 24 years old, where it's been kind of noted that the Sabres have quite a few left-handed D-men. They've got Dahlin, they've got Power. These guys are long-term, projectable names for the Sabres. You also got Mattias Samuelsson, who, by all accounts, is also a long-term name, not because he's that good, but because he is signed on till the end of freaking 2030. You've got 3 long-term left-handed D here, and Bowen Byram is also in the mix. So when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to deployment, there are some question marks as to whether or not Bo Byram is really going to survive being an option in Buffalo. We all know that when he plays with Dahlin, he's pretty all right. But that's not really the makings of a number one defenseman if you have to play with Dahlin in order to get those results. I'm still very optimistic on Bowen Byram and his long-term projectability, but you could understand why a lot of folks in the Buffalo beat are kind of saying, yeah, well, maybe it's not all too guaranteed. And so, trade talk in regards to Bowen Byram has not died down. Even though he did sign, there still is the possibility that he gets traded, especially since the contract he has goes straight to unrestricted free agency. Which is why we're heading over onto Heavy.com. Yes, I know, it's Heavy.com. Folks, we got no other topics to talk about, so we're going to be going over this here. And an article by Caleb Kearney, published 2 days ago, that goes over a Red Wings trade pitch for the Buffalo Sabres D-man Bowen Byram in this new deal. Now, there were some extra things to talk about with Buffalo in regards to news of the day. Devin Levi re-signed earlier this morning, which was very nice to see. I believe they avoided arbitration. Is that correct? I'm not really too sure. But there were some extra notes on Buffalo. Just wanted to toss that in there because some of y'all might be interested in that news. Devin Levi's very good, so it's nice to see him sticking around there. But this article will be linked in the description. It goes over a trade proposal, a trade package for Bowen Byram. The Red Wings are in a tough Eastern Conference. While the Panthers continue to win Stanley Cups, teams like the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens are improving their rosters. Really? Is Toronto improving their rosters? I don't know, man. I'd rather have Mitch Marner than Pezzetta, Nick Waugh, Matthias Michelli, and Dakota Joshua. Anyways, let's continue here. Heavy.com has proposed a new trade that will help the Red Wings fortify their blue line. This trade pitch sees them acquiring the services of Bowen Byram from the Sabres. Here is their hypothetical trade proposal. The Detroit Red Wings acquire Bowen Byram, and the Sabres acquire Jonatan Berggren, Andrew Copp, and a second-round pick in 2026. Now, here's the thing. Jonatan Berggren recently signed a contract as well, much to the surprise of some of us. I mean, I wasn't like the most out-of-this-world amazing ecstatic to see Jonatan Berggren re-sign, but I was kind of like, that's interesting. Wasn't this guy so adamant on not sticking around in Detroit and playing elsewhere just a few months ago? Well, now he's sticking around even more. So that's very, very interesting to me. But the idea sees Jonatan Berggren Andrew Copp, and a second getting traded away for Bowen Byram. I just gotta say it right here, if that is the price for Byram, I think Stevie Y probably should have been all over this yesterday. I get that Bo Byram and his spot in the Buffalo Sabres lineup, his position, his trade demands, and his contract signing shenanigans, I know that all that has contributed to Byram having a lower market value price, but the Sabres still probably do see the Stanley Cup championship, 4th overall caliber value that Bowen Byram has and had. This is a guy who is going to demand a ransom from Buffalo. He had 38 points in 82 games played the most recent season. This was technically the best season of his career, even though a few seasons ago he did end up winning the Stanley Cup with Colorado. Bo Byram, though, is only 24, and he has all the makings, in my opinion at least, to become a very serviceable top 3, top 2 even defenseman at the NHL level. The Buffalo Sabres, while it is true they have a surplus of left-handed D, they're not just going to give this guy away for scraps. And that is ultimately what I think the Red Wings would be giving up here in this trade idea. No disrespect to Berggren and Copp, but Andrew Copp is essentially just a cap dump, tossing away a guy who's projected to playing at the bottom of the lineup anyway, and Jonatan Berggren, getting him off the team would open up the door to some other names like Carter Mazur or potentially a Nate Danielson to take the next step. Like, at this point, I mean, Jonatan Berggren, he's 25 years old, he's just a year older than Bo Byram, and he had 24 points in 75 games the most recent season. Is Berggren going to be on the up and up? Can he improve from 24 points to 30 or 35 points? And if he can't, can a guy like Nate Danielson come in and fill in those minutes instead? I mean, if you think about the Red Wings and their line combinations, they do have some extra names that have been tossed around there. Andrew Copp and Berggren are projected as fourth-line guys for Detroit. Would you rather have Copp and Berggren here, or would you rather just give the spot to Danielson and Mazur? You're essentially getting equal playing time. Like, you're not going to give these guys the moon and the stars in terms of deployment, so why not use it more in a developmental role? If you can get rid of these dudes for some younger prospects and add on Bowen Byram to be top pair with Mo Seider, I think that's a very, very positive move. It's just a question as to whether or not Buffalo would accept it, which I don't think they would, quite frankly. They want a lot for this guy. Like, we were thinking about trade proposals earlier on in the year of Bowen Byram for Elias Pettersson. I mean, that was the sort of discourse that was going on about this dude. And honestly, like, I kind of figured that it would exacerbate itself to that effect, even though it's not really realistic. Like, you think about it, Bowen Byram was traded to Buffalo for Casey Mittelstadt. Like, there's nothing really that went on in Byram's time in Buffalo that improved his trade value to going from a Casey Mittelstadt value comparable to Elias Pettersson. Although I do get that Pettersson had a terrible year the previous season, which diminished his own value, which made the conversation even more reasonable to have. Okay, I kind of take it back. But still, Bo Byram for 2 fourth-line dumps in Detroit and a second, I think Stevie Y should have been all over that if that's the appropriate price. Of course, no disrespect to Berggren, it's just, I mean, he's projected to play 4th-line right wing. You can give that spot to another prospect. Carter Mazur's knocking on the door here. There are opportunities for other guys, and if Bo Byram is what you get out of all of that, then I think it's actually pretty good. So, this article will be linked in the description. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this heavy.com proposal here. Bowen Byram in exchange for Berggren, Copp, and a second. Does Buffalo say yes? Does Buffalo accept it? Let me know in the comment section all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.